Why am I doing that? Who would know? Good morning, Stackers! It is Joe Main. This is your place to be in the mornings in Australia, Australian Eastern Standard Time, but anywhere else in the world. It might not be morning for you, but that's okay. Just you can have a second morning. This is your 20-minute gold and silver bullion news program. A quick thing as you're getting ready for work. You can watch it even after work too. That's okay because you get the replay. So we do a quick price analysis, a quick bit of economic news, and we just hang out. So it's the place for stackers to hang out. Again, Australian stackers in the mornings, but hey, if you want to join us from anywhere around the world, that is cool too. My name is Joe Main. I've been in the industry for 10 years. I've been a stacker for 14 years and been working in the bullion industry for 11 years at some of Australia's biggest bullion dealers, and so such as Goldstackers. You may remember me from Bullion Now, from all the videos and all that stuff there, and also more recently at Ainslie Bullion as well. You might recognize my voice or my face. You would have definitely seen some of the videos that I've created that have had nearly 1 million views, 100,000 plus views, all those epic unboxings and all that stuff. If you've seen that in Australia, or you've probably maybe seen it around the world. And yes, why was I doing the birthday theme? Because it is my birthday today. Congratulations to me. Why not? This live stream may include special guests today. I've already received right here my birthday, my little mini birthday present. I received a lovely card as well, and of course the obligatory socks. So let's do a celebratory Good Morning Stackers synchronized slurp, birthday edition. So jump on, let me know that you're here. If you're watching, let me know that you're watching. We're live on YouTube and we're also live on Facebook too. I went back to Facebook today. I'm trying to consolidate all of you to YouTube, but thought I'd do Facebook today, try and gather as more people into the chat and who can say g'day and say hello to each other. And here we go, we're going to do the synchronized slurp. So what that means is you get your tasty beverage, whatever that is, your choice, and we all do it at the same time, and you have to slurp. That's the golden rule here. The silver rule is that you must slurp, and it doesn't matter whether you're alone, whether you're with people, whether they find it disgusting. It doesn't matter. It's you got to do it. So even if you're alone, you have to do it. It's an honor system. So here we go. The synchronized slurp in 3, 2. All right. So it's been nearly 3 minutes intro. Okay, I got to tighten that one up. So let's go straight to the price of gold. So let's take a look at the price of gold. To do it, it's an honor system. Overnight. So here we go. And synchronized what slurp. You can see here, let me get rid of that because that's I've got to put the mute button on. So let's take a look at gold overnight. What have we done? So we're doing this in, no, I don't want to do that. We're doing this in US dollars. So it's 2,320 US dollars. So we've seen a dip overnight, and overnight for, Australians right here, $2,290 we came down to. We'll pop this on the 4-hour using the tradingview.com website. And so a nice little bottoming out, and this is the 4-hour time frame. So you can see a very clear support level here at 2,300, 2,290 time frame right there. So very clear support, and then that move back up. So it's good to see that we've closed above that area. We're not back into the purple box range just yet, but if you can see this beautiful little daily wick right there, it means the buyers have been in control within the last 24 hours, roughly. And so that's good to see. Obviously, what we would like to see, we've got another just under 3 hours before we open the next daily time frame, at least if you're using the UTC timing, the universal time code, I think that's what it's called. So until we open another day, so we'd preferably want to see it close above, and I don't know if this is going to happen, probably not, but we'd preferably want to see it close above $2,325, $2,327, something like that. Actually, that's quite possible because that's only actually quite possible because that's only a $5-6 move in gold. So preferably that. And then what that means is we may potentially close that day in the green, and that's a very, very positive sign. But what we need to see is obviously preferably back up into this area here. This is this purple box range, which I've had drawn in for a while. This is between 2,350 and 2,470 right there. If we close back up here, I mean, no, that's not going to happen today. But what we want to see in the next couple of days is head back into this range right here. So for the next couple of days, particularly if we close the month back up into this range right here, this is the monthly time frame. If we close back up into the over 2,350, anywhere within that range, and we say there's a good chance that the following month could potentially be an up month as well. So that is gold. The low targets for gold, I would stick to 2,250 US dollars is preferable to hold. So that is gold, and it's all happening here in the Good Morning Stackers household. Oh, thanks, Desi. So Desi says, happy birthday, Joe. Thanks, mate. I appreciate it. So, I'm not going to tell you how old I am, but, let's just say I've been around since before the internet. And I remember before the internet. Let's put it this way. I remember a time where, and maybe you experienced this too. I remember a time where, let's just say you were going to meet someone for a movie. Oh, I did that one without you, sorry. Let's say you're going to meet someone for a movie. I say, hey, mate, let's say you're, 19, 20 years old, something like that. Or even maybe 17, 18, whatever. And say, hey, do you want to go see a movie on Friday night? Yeah, no worries. Cool. Meet me at the bottom of the stairs of the cinema at 7:34, or if it's 7:30, because the movie's starting at 8 o'clock. So meet me there at 7:30. And then what you had to do was you had to meet them at 7:30, because why? You didn't have a mobile phone to then say, oh, hey, mate, I'm running 15 minutes late. So, just go in without me or whatever. No, you waited. If 7:30 came around, you just waited. There was no communication. It was just, okay, you just wait. And then if at a certain point they didn't turn up for some reason, maybe you'd go to a payphone and call their house number and say, hey, Mrs. blah, 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 is blah, 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 is he coming to the movie? But that was it. There was no that instant communication. So that's how old I am, if that makes any sense. So pop a comment below if you remember that time before mobile phones were actually a full thing for everyone. Of course, the rich people had them and all that stuff, the big brick phones and all that. But yeah, I remember a time where you were just there when you said you were going to be there, and otherwise if you weren't, the person waited, and that was it. So that's how old I am. So let's take a look at silver very quickly. So silver right here. Good to see you again, Desi. I appreciate it. So silver here. This is what we were talking about last week, and I'll just pop this on. You need to see this on the shared screen. So let me do that just a second. There you go. There's a shared screen for you. So silver, here's what we were talking about yesterday. The fact that we had dropped below 27 US dollars right there. And I had been saying yesterday that we really wanted to close the daily candle above $27. So maybe, we have this little wick down, and we were down this kind of rough area here. And then after the live show, we went down below this 27 to $26.60-70 US cents. But luckily since then, as you can see, we've gone back above that area. So that's a good sign, at least in the beginning. So far, so good. Where it looks like I'd say in the next couple of hours, we may not close, we may not break down. Let's take a look at this on the hourly time frame. Well, we've got a little bit of time ahead, so less than 3 hours. So we really need to hold that 27 area in order for me to be confident that, today's opening of the market might be green as well. So that's pretty much it for silver. Of course, the final hurdle, if you're new to the live show, welcome. If you're watching it for the first time, I did post this on Reddit and a couple of other places. The final hurdle here is $31.20. That's US. That's telling me that we're in 100% bull market. We probably already are, but just give that final confirmation. But good to see that silver is over that little $27 area. If we take a look at the relative strength index, though, as a counter indication, right here, we have already been in this time frame, already in extreme overbought territory, and we are looking like we are tracking down at the moment on the relative strength index. So that might give pause for this little move back up to be, a brief movement, and maybe of between $26. That's the holy grail right there, holy grail to hold on the monthly, or all the way down to retest this downtrend line right here. A little bit slower on the interwebs today. Hopefully everyone's getting me coming in loud and clear. Desi, if you can, my possibly one and only listener at the moment, how's the internet speed? Is everything coming through smoothly? Am I a bit choppy? Am I like a robot? Is that happening? Let me know. Did I drop out? Let me know as well. Also, hello to my people on Facebook as well. So we're looking for that area there. So that just needs to hold. If you look at this on the weekly time frame, again, we've gone into overbought territory, and we are currently tracking down. But the general, like the short-term tracking down on the relative strength index down here. Let me get rid of that. What I've just realized is that thing is in the way. Oh no, you can see it. That's why I've moved it. There we go. It's moving down on the relative strength index, but you can see generally over the last few weeks it's been in an uptrend. But that's why I'm suggesting this area here. Don't be surprised if we hit this and it just becomes a retest. So that is silver, but it's good to see it over the $27 mark. What happens for the next 24 hours remains to be seen. Post a comment below. Let me know what you think. Going to go back to the chat for a second just to see if there's any more. Fantastic. That's good to see. So we've got a few comments here. That's fantastic. So Desi says, haha, I'm old enough to just experience that as well. Yeah, we're probably around about that same age. I'm in an age which is, it's giving away too much. Who cares? I'm in an age apparently where I'm right in between. I'm at the top end of the Gen X's, but at the bottom end, I'm right in between. I'm just a Gen Xer, but I'm also just whatever the one after that is. I'm right in that wheelhouse. Apparently, it makes us very, very special because we experience the internet. We experienced life before the internet, and we're experiencing life after the internet. So we've had that. We've had that too. We're not a baby boomer. We're not an old Gen Xer. We're like a really young Gen Xer, but a very, very early, almost not, but whatever, millennial or whatever that is, Gen Y. So that is that. Let's see. Is that a good indicator? Okay. So Desi's asking, is that a good indicator that it tested the 26s and didn't go under there? Does that mean that's the floor or resistance? 26s, I would say 26. Like it's good that we tested the 26s, but I'd say the floor for me is that 24.50 to 26. So the yellow line that's going down that way, the bottom of that, or 26, which we all know has been a long-term bugaboo for silver investors. So 26 even roughly is the floor. So rather not, it's great we dipped into the 26s and headed back up, but I wouldn't say we're out of the woods just yet. So it's that $24.50 to $26 area is the big key, in my opinion. Again, not financial advice and all that sort of stuff. Joshua Lynch. G'day, Joshua Lynch. Welcome back. All good. You can see me. You can hear me. Fantastic. And Desi says, sound is good, but a few times it was loading for me. Yeah. Not sure if that's my internet or yours. I can tell you that is my internet because what's happened this morning is, of course, birthday morning. And we say, it's Daddy's birthday tomorrow. Kids are up a bit earlier. So, internet's a bit more going. So, that's the reason. Normally I've got it's just you and me for the morning. So that's why I reckon at some potential point we're going to have, one of my kids go in and go, are you finished yet? It's happy birthday, Dad. Although I did get all that birthday stuff before. So that is that. I'm not going to do platinum for now. We're already at the 15-minute mark. Okay, birthday edition. So we've got about 5 minutes left roughly. This is the 20-minute show. I like to do this quick, short, and sharp. So let's take a quick look at some economic news overnight, anything that's relatively relatable. I also have a quick bar of silver to show you as well. I do a bit of show and tell every single day, or I try to. So let's take a quick look here at, we're going to go back there, and we're going to go to this one right here. This is what I saw this morning. Silver prices forecast weaker as investors shift from safe havens on lower risk. So that's saying that it's indicating that the mass psychology of the market is going to a little bit more risk on. So when the mass psychology of the market is risk on, then they're willing to take more risk, and therefore safe haven assets like gold, like silver, etc., may take a bit more of a backseat. They may get into things that are a little bit more riskier assets, because gold in particular is like the safe haven asset. Now that's interesting because so it says weaker as investors shift from safe haven assets on lower risk. So shift towards riskier assets as investor confidence grows. So as investors get more confident, they are willing to take more risk. And then again, that's why sometimes you might see a dip in the metals. So silver prices are sharply lower on Monday, influenced by a complex mix of geopolitical concerns, economic data, and shifts in investment strategies after a spike due to fears of an escalation in the Middle East. No, that's their claim there. Investors scaled back their positions in silver and other safe haven assets, that'd be gold as well, as tensions seemed to ease. So that's the main thing. War with Iran, world war, blah, blah, blah. Everyone goes, uh-oh, and then they jump to safe haven assets like gold in particular, and then silver tends to move with it. Seems like there's a little bit of tension relief. Tension relief. I won't go there. A bit of tension relief there, and there's a bit of a sell-off in the metals. But interestingly, so who knows where that's going to go? So if there's more tensions arising, if there's more talk of potential, conflict, then you will see gold, going up probably, and silver following, because of people run to it for safety. In uncertain times, people flock towards gold. So the more uncertainty, the more people go to gold and then silver as a safe haven asset. But let's go to this interesting one. So there's a bit of risk on there, for the market. People are happy to go a little bit riskier investments. But interestingly, Iran's gold reserves rise unprecedentedly, says this report. So the Lebanon-based TV channel on Monday said Iran's gold reserves and precious metals have been on the rise over the past months for obvious reasons. Responding to a large part of the country's middle-term dependence on imports, it, however, added that Iran's main card is the change of the basket of central bank foreign assets, noting that, and this is the big kicker here, noting that the sanctioned countries tend to change their assets into gold or other precious metals to be shielded against the consequences of financial sanctions. So Iran's thinking, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on. There's this conflict. Governments, particularly the US or other countries, may impose sanctions on us. And so we need to load up on gold as a safe haven asset. So that's more risk off. They're more going, tensions. And then the market on the opposite side has said, maybe in the last 24 hours there has been an easing of the tensions. But gold, Iran has been loading up on gold, and central banks in general, as we spoke about yesterday, have been loading up on gold over the last months and years, in particular because people have this little feeling that something's not right. And maybe, certainly stackers, we do this for the insurance play. Again, we talked about that, buying gold as insurance. System audio muted. Yeah, that's what I wanted. So you can still hear me? All good, fantastic. People, people have gold and silver as an insurance policy just in case something happens. And then as they notice the world going in a certain direction that they don't like, they tend to load up more. And it's a very big mass psychology thing. So Iran's loading up on gold for obvious reasons. Central banks are, but that little bit of tension relief in the last couple of days, and that's apparently the reason why you're seeing that sell-off in gold and silver. But also, could it just be the market manipulators doing the market manipulating thing as well? Is it in lockstep? Who knows? Do you think that the market is heavily manipulated? by the big players. Post a comment below and let me know your thoughts. And that is the news. And lastly, we're at the 20-minute mark. I've got to go in a couple of minutes. A couple of quick comments right here. So Joshua says, you have been in the dealer game before. Yes, I have. What would be your opinion at the moment? Are people buying or selling with the spot price all over the place? Okay, so let me read that again. You've been in the dealer game. Yes, I certainly have. Multiple bullion dealers over the last 11 years. What would be your opinion? Are people buying or selling with the spot price? Okay. So with the spot price going all over the place, are people buying and selling, buying or selling? There's been a recent period, and I'll let you in on a bit of a bullion dealer secret at the moment. It's actually, and it's not a secret. Demand in the last number of months has been down from bullion dealers, from what I've experienced, but also what I've been hearing from very credible, and I can tell you the most credible people in the industry about measuring the demand of physical precious metals, at least in the Australian market. I can't talk about another market, the US, but I think it would be the same roughly everywhere. So demand has been down for buying, and I can tell you that in the last few months, selling has really, really increased. So a lot of businesses, dealers doing a lot of buybacks. There's a thought that the next few months are going to be roughly the same, but in around about the 6 month time, a lot of bullion dealers forward projections are that in that next 6 month period, it's going to start to ramp up again, and then demand is getting more and more and more. And around about 6 months roughly, it's going to really be taking off again. But just a lot more buybacks recently. That doesn't mean no one's buying. Of course, your dollar cost average and all that. But yeah, that's just word on the street, and a very credible word on the street. So we might be ticking up again soon. But yeah, just in the last few months, there's been a decent amount of selling. But that doesn't mean you should sell, and I don't think that should be the case at all. Again, just dollar cost average into the metals, and again, you buy it for an insurance policy in case you don't know where the world is going, but also you don't put all your eggs in one basket. Why would you buy? Don't put all your wealth in gold and silver. So that is the short answer to that. And Joshua also says, physical wise bullion. Okay, yes, of course, you're clarifying, not paper. Yeah, okay, so that's fine. Yes, so yes, that's the word on the street about the physical bullion. So we're going to end this with a bit of quick show and tell. Let's show you right here. So this is another one from my stack right here. So hopefully you've been watching this live. If you're watching this after the fact, again, this is the Good Morning Stackers show based in Australia, but you can watch this anywhere else in the world. So let me show you right here. So I don't want you to do that. Why would I want you to do that, Microsoft? Go away. Really bad timing. So this is, yes, a 10-ounce bar of silver. And does it look like anything that you recognize? Let's go here and there. What does that look like? Does that look like a stacker bar? It does look like a stacker bar that you are used to seeing. I'll try and get that as close as I can, guys, to get a little bit more of focus. That is right there. Now check this out. You are correct. It is a Scottsdale stacker bar. However, you might notice something very interesting on the front side. So manufactured by, now this is even before, this is manufactured, this is manufactured, I don't know if this is technically not a Scottsdale bar. This is a Scottsdale bar before it was Scottsdale, I think, even as well. I could be wrong on that. But manufactured by Materion. This goes back a long, long time. Materion were, or are, I'd have to double check on that, the manufacturer of the Scottsdale stacker bar. As far as I remember, Materion were doing it first. I think Scottsdale was selling them, but they didn't put the Scottsdale logo on the back here, the Scottsdale Lion, etc. So this is pre-Scottsdale Lion logo on the back here. Still got the swirls, manufactured by Materion. But on the front here, does it say Scottsdale or anything else? No, it does not. It says 9999 troy ounces, fine silver. Let's get the auto focus in here, people. Come on. There you go, son. No, we'll do that, and then we'll do that. There we go, 999 fine ounces of silver, and it says the official Silver Stacker. There you go. The official Silver Stacker Stacker Bar. What is the official Silver Stackers Stacker Bar? And then you've got the details down. That says silverstackers.com. I'm just trying to get that into focus for you. There you go, right there. Beautiful bar. Hey, there you go. The Silver Stackers Stackable Bar. It doesn't even say Stacker Bar. It says the official Silver Stackers Stackable Bar, silverstackers.com. So, silverstackers.com is still around. I think, as far as I'm aware, it has been a very famous forum for silver. So before things like the Gold Silver Stackers Australia Facebook group, you had the silverstackers.com forum, which had been around for a long time before then. And it's still around as far as I'm aware. It was actually started by one of my bosses of my first job at Goldstackers in Australia, a precious metals dealer, started by Ben from Goldstackers. And that's actually how the two bosses of Goldstackers met. So they met, and then they started trading with each other and talking, and then they formed Goldstackers anyway. So Silver Stackers had this bar made especially, and then people bought those. Now I picked this up as a buyback a few years later when I started working for Goldstackers. But look at this, it's a Scottsdale stacker bar without the Scottsdale lion logo on it, made by Materian with the swirls, but then a special edition for the Silver Stackers Forum members only. So I was one of those members. So that's it. That is the cool bar of the day, I think. So I'm going to leave it at that. It's now nearly at half an hour. How am I going to do this every time at sort of 15, 20 minutes? I think it's always going to go over. Desi says, nice bar. Can't wait. Can't wait for the giveaways. That might come eventually. I can tell you, I'll tell the couple of watchers here, I'll give you a heads up. There's something going on. There's something going on which nothing's locked in yet, but since I've started the live show, something's been happening, and that's pretty much all I can say. Nothing's even locked in. There's some conversations happening, but they're happening really quickly. So giveaways or anything like that might eventually start to occur. This is pretty much all I can say now, because again, it's just chats and stuff, so I really shouldn't say things before things are locked in or anything like that. But you never know, giveaways might be a thing, whether I just give it away from my own personal stack or whether it comes from another source. I don't know. We'll see. So that is that, I think, for the show. So birthday edition of Good Morning Stackers. What we're going to do is get your tasty beverage ready for one last synchronized slurp. What I'd love you to do is please share this around. You have to share it around. Share it on the, all the groups around in Facebook and other places, in forums and things. And we want to really build up this hangout space for Australian stackers and other stackers around the world in the mornings. I'm still going with the dressing gown theme. It might change, but and that's pretty much it. So thank you very much for watching. You'll get another one tomorrow. Of course, price analysis, quick economic news, something kind of show and tell, and then just good chats with like-minded stackers. So let's do the synchronized slurp in 3, 2. And now I'm going to go be a dad and be a birthday dad. So that is it, gang. So please like, share, and subscribe. And stay safe, stay informed, and we'll see you tomorrow. Catch you later.